Have you ever wanted to be an amazing magician and blow other people's minds with your skills? Well, if you're anything like me, you can't do it, because I don't know anything. But there's one secret I'll share with you. There's a way. Oh, did I get cut off in the intro? Who cut me off? Punks? Alright, yo, so check this out. For those of you who are curious, by the way, these are If an Octopus Could Palm playing cards. I had no idea how expensive they were until I actually opened up this deck, and that's when I realized I just lost a couple $100. But anyway, we'll start off this card trick by having the deck shuffled up by a Spectator, or if you want to shuffle it up, you can do that as well. And once the deck is shuffled, we need to find our buddy, Mr. Jack, because he is actually a detective. His name is Diamonds. Jack Diamonds. We're going to take him right out of the deck, if we can find him. Jack Diamonds, there he is. Jack Diamonds, we're going to leave him face up on the table for now. The deck can be shuffled up again. This way I have no idea where anything is. And now, in order for him to be successful, he needs to be placed as close to the center of the deck as possible. So is that close to the center? I guess that's as close to the center as we're possibly going to get. We'll leave him here, right on top of this half, and sandwich him as close to the center as possible, like I said. Now, at this point, he's somewhere in the center, and I'm going to hand the deck over to, let's say, Spectator number 1. Spectator number 1 is going to take this deck and split it into 3 even piles, or as close to even as possible, 3 piles. I'll take the center packet. Let's say Spectator number 1 gets this packet, Spectator number 2 gets that packet. So Spectator number 1 can shuffle up his packet as much as he likes. All right, all shuffled up. Spectator number 2 can shuffle up her packet, but Spectator number 2 is also going to select a card from her packet. Let's just say this card here. Take a look at that card, memorize it. That's what both their cards are, or that's what their cards is. This card right here. We'll take it, put it on top of Spectator number 1's packet, and sandwich it somewhere in the center. Now this packet can be added together with this packet, and this packet can go either on top or on the bottom. Let's just say we want to put it on top, and then let's just say we want to give the deck a cut. Now we have no idea where anything is, but this is where the detective is going to solve the case. He's going to ask us to split this deck into 4 even piles of 13 cards each. So let's do that now. 3, 13, 13, 13, and 13, right? So 4 piles of 13 cards each. And the Jack we saw was in this pile. So let's spread this out, right? So the Jack is in this pile. All right, what's he got to say? Let's see what he has to say. He said, what? He said the card is not in his own pile, right? So we can get rid of that pile. The card's not there. Let's scan through the other piles here, Mr. Jack. All right, he heard what the cards have to say. It's not in either one of these piles. That means it has to be somewhere in this pile, but he's not exactly sure where it is yet, so we're going to insert him somewhere. He's going to talk around, see what's going on, and just figure out where things are. Oh. Okay, he immediately just said that it's not these, and it's not these. What else? What else? Oh, it's not these either. Okay, I think he got it. His buddies told him that it's one of these 3 cards, but it's not the card in the center. That means it has to be one of these 2. And it seems like he's leaning more towards this card here, so let's get rid of this one. And for the first time, can you name your card? The 5 of Hearts. Well, check this out. The 5 of Hearts. Boom. What up, crew? It is Magic Monday, and this is your place to learn magic, master your performance, and captivate audiences. So some background on this trick. It's known as Detective Story by Temple C. Patton, and it's truly a card trick that anyone can do. So I'm not going to hold a secret from you anymore. Get ready to share this magic with all your friends. Now grab your favorite deck, and let's do it. Here we are. What I love about this trick is that it's practically self-working. There's just one key thing that you need. So no setup involved, no nothing. It's just one thing that you do in front of the Spectator that is quite sneaky, but they will rarely ever actually get what you are doing. So to start off, you need a deck of 52 cards because this is practically a math-based trick that we're kind of hiding as a lot of randomness going on. So first thing you need, of course, is a deck of 52 cards. Now, I like to use the Jack of Diamonds or some kind of Jack to be the detective. I feel like that's just normally how it's done. But, you know, you can feel free to use any card. You want to use the Queen, you want to use the King. You do you, yo. All right, so let's just say I'm using the Jack. So I start off the card trick, and I take the cards right out of the tuck case. I hand the deck over to the Spectator, so they have the freedom to shuffle it up, even though, you know, that freedom means nothing. They have the freedom to shuffle it up as much as they would like. Once you're satisfied with the shuffling, then you're going to take the deck back, and you're going to go through and say, I'm looking for my detective, because cards are the real magic. I'm just the person who the magic feeds through, but it's actually all the cards. So here I take out my Jack of Diamonds, and what really needs to be done for this effect to work is that the Jack of Diamonds needs to be placed the 26th position from the top. Now, if you have enough practice, because I've been doing this for quite some time, I can cut the deck where it's very close to even and I'm maybe off by one card, if that. So if you cut the deck as close to even as possible, one packet is gonna have 25 and the other packet's gonna have 26. So what you want is, let's say this packet has 26, right? Yeah, this packet has 26 cards. You wanna put the Jack on top of the packet that has 26 cards, and the other packet, that means has to have 25, and you put that on top. So however you wanna do this, the Jack has to be 26th from the top. So not this card 26, this should be the 26th card face up from the top. And that's what you're gonna do. So if you don't have that level of expertise where you can kind of just cut it and then just do a quick measurement and eyeball to see if it's 25 or 26, the other method that you can use is, let's say the Jack is somewhere in the center of the deck, right? And now you wanna be able to count off 25 cards. So this deck has just been shuffled, you take it back from the Spectator, you wanna be able to count off 25 cards, but make it very discreet. The easiest way I feel to count cards is in chunks of 3. So I would do 3, 3, 3, that's 9, 3, 3, 3, that's 18, 3, 3, 3, that's 27, that's too far. You come back 1, 2, and that's 25. Now you see the problem is that the Jack is in this packet. So what you can do is you can count one extra card to 26 and then remove that Jack. Or if the Jack is too far up to the front, right? Let's say the Jack is here, you want to count to 25, give the deck a cut and then count all the way to 25 cards. And let's say you count to 25, let's do that real quick. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 25, right? You count the 25 cards. What you can do is in-jog this card, the 25th card, in-jog that card. So you can see it's down here. And then continue looking for the Jack. Once you see it, take out that Jack. And now you know the 7 of diamonds up, right? 7 of diamonds up is 25 cards. So you can turn this deck around. And now you know these cards, this packet right here is 25. You can cut the deck here, put the Jack here, and this again is 25 cards. 25, the Jack will be 26, and you give the deck a cut there, all right? So that would be the way to do it if you don't know how to count to, or if you don't know how to automatically cut to 25. But if you do know how to do that, then, you know, that's a good way to practice. And yeah, I feel like I spent a lot of time on this, so let's move on. So we have Jack at the 25th position. What you want to do now is hand over the deck to the Spectator. And of course, this works best with 2 Spectators. Hand the deck over, let's say to Spectator number 2, and have them cut the deck into 3 piles. So let's say pile number 1 and 3 even piles, right? Tell them to make it as even as possible. So there's a third, there's a third, and there's a third. What you really want to make sure is that the Jack remains in the center packet, right? The center packet is the packet that's going to be going to you. The Jack has to remain in the center packet. And since these cards are cut, you give the right packet to Spectator number 1 or Spectator number 2, whatever you want to call them. Give the left packet to the person who cut the deck, and then you will take this center packet for yourself. Now, Spectator number 1 and 2, they're going to shuffle up their own packet. So this is shuffled up, and this is shuffled up. Now that the packets have been shuffled, let's say Spectator number 2 is going to take a card out of their packet, so any card that they'd like. It is the 9 of clubs. Take that, remember that card because I may forget. 9 of clubs. Leave it on top of the other Spectator's packet and sandwich that somewhere in between. So now their card is truly lost somewhere between those 2 packets. Now you're going to tell or instruct either of the Spectators to take your packet and put it either on top or below their initial packet or the packet that they put together. Let's just say they put it on top, and then ask them to give the deck a cut. So this truly feels as random as possible. It doesn't seem like you're doing anything fishy. And again, the way that I cover it in the beginning of putting the Jack face up in the center, it's the performance is key, right? Because I like to say the Jack has to be as close to the center as possible in order for this trick to work, so he has full oversight of the deck, or the full oversight of all the cards. So now this is done, the deck is set up all ready to go. You can pretty much do exactly what I did, split this pile into, or split this deck into 4 piles of 13 cards each. Let's just quickly do that. And one thing to note, you're dealing off 13 cards at once. You're not going around and dealing in a circle. You're doing 13, 13, 13, 13. Right, so at 13, this is pile number 1, and that's going to be important. 13, pile number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Pile number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, pile number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And you want to make sure you count off these 13 because the order of these packets is very important. So even though you know you have 13 cards at the end, you have to deal off that pile of 13. So you have 13, 13, 13, 13, and you want to make sure you know what number the piles are. So this is pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you dealt this pile over here, then this would be pile number 3, okay? You want to know the numbers of each of these piles and what order it was dealt in. That's going to be very important. So now at this point, we have those 4 piles, and we want to see which pile contained the jack. I honestly was not paying attention. It's not this pile number 1. It's not pile number 2. It's pile number 3. So pile number 3 right now contains our jack. So the way that this is going to work is we have pile number 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to go with the same odd or even packet. So for example, if the jack was in packet number 3, then the spectator selected card will be in packet number 1. If the jack was in packet number 2, the spectator selected card would be in packet number 4. It would be in the other even packet. So if it was in 1, it would be in 3. If it was in 4, it would be in 2. In this case, our jack was in packet number 3, so the other odd pile is packet number 1. That means their card is going to be in packet number 1. So what I like to do here is, and again, I'm kind of feeding my performance through this as well. I like to spread off these cards like this. I spread them out in a pile, and I see the jack here. And I see in this case, the jack is dead center, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the top. And I keep that in mind. Jack is 7th position from the, let's just say from the top. Jack is 7th position from the top. I take this jack out, and I say the jack just told me that your card is not in this pile, so you get rid of this pile. And again, feeding into performance, I like to have the jack. You can put these piles closer together if you'd like. Feeding into my performance, I like to kind of tap the jack on each pile, and the jack tells me as a performer, oh, what's that? Okay, the card is in this pile, right? So that's what I tell the spectator. After speaking to Mr. Jack here, Jack Diamonds, the card's in this pile, so we can get rid of these other 2, and we're left with just this one. Now this pile, again, I like to spread on the table the same way I spread off the pile with the jack. And what's insane about this trick is that the card that was selected by the spectator, because of how all the math works out, will be in the exact same position the jack was in. So we know the jack was dead center, 7th from the top. If we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that is going to be the 9 of clubs. It's freaking mental how that works. Like it blew my mind. The first time I did it, I'm like, no way. No way that the math so random works like that. It just, but I guess just a couple of notes. Don't just reveal it as, oh, it's a center card. Have some kind of build up to it. Similar to how I did my performance, get rid of cards from the sides, get rid of, these cards, maybe leave 3 cards here, have the jack speak to them, whatever you want to do, and then do the slow dramatic reveal to, again, kind of build tension and ultimately do the reveal to really get those great reactions. And I'm telling you, because of how insane this card trick is, practically self-working, all you need to do is place the jack towards the center of the deck, 26 from the top, and it's beautiful. If you enjoy more simple and straightforward card tricks like this one, where things seem completely random but actually aren't, you're gonna love this. Check it out. A huge shout out to all my Patreon producers, and thank you, love you, see you soon.